Okay, we didn't totally finish everything that we needed to yesterday. So today we're going to finish testing our designs and coming up with some new designs and doing all the iterative testing of the tsunami alert system. And then at the end, we're going to submit one to Hannah Wong. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And it's a shortened class period today, but I think you can get it all done if you work quickly. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is go to back to your Clever Applications and open up Amplify. And then from there, once you're in Amplify, then go ahead and go to the lessons, click on the global navigation menu, and open Futura Workspace. Once you're there, then you just click up here on the top corner and that will open Tsunami Alert. So I just have here a setup of different sensors, deep and shallow. I didn't add an earthquake one, but I'll go ahead and add one on the land. Oops, and I'm out of money. So there we go. Looks like I can spend this much and I have 10 sensors. So I'm going to go ahead and test it, and once it tests, it's going to give me some information. One of the things that it tells me is it tells me where I've located each one of my different sensors. I have my 10 sensors here, and it tells me what type they are, if it's placed on land or if it was shallow, and then also the coordinates. You need all of this information in the design details to fill in your tsunami alert data. You need to have 6 of these before you can submit one of them to Hannah Wong. Yesterday you might have filled in 1, 2, or 3. There was one group that was working on their second sheet of paper. I'm not sure. At the end, you should have 3 sheets of paper with 6 designs. You can obviously work together, but make sure that each person is writing down their own analysis because that will help you understand your final. You have to submit your own final. Okay, let's take a look at an example. Here is, oh, nope. There we go. Here's an example of one. This is someone's third version, and their plan was just to try a combination with lots of shallow and a few earthquake and deep sensors. This is very similar to the one that I just showed you that I did. Over here you can see these are the design details, and they took these design details and placed over here on the build section the design details. So you need to find your design details and fill them in the top part. You can find your design details by, oops, wrong thing, by looking at this. It tells you all your design details here, and then underneath it tells you your test results. So using the same paper, you are going to put your design details here in the build section and your test results there. Once you're done with your test results, then you need to analyze it and come up with some ideas of what you're going to do for your next one. So here are the design details. M8 is the coordinate. You can see over here that this was an earthquake sensor and it was placed on the land. So this M8 has a little asterisk next to it. The asterisk just means it was placed on land. If you have any earthquake sensors that you've put on the land, make sure that you also put an asterisk there to show that that's not underwater. Then you're going to take your test results and you're going to actually record those here. The average warning time, whether or not all the necessary warnings were received, how many false alarms there were, and what the total cost was. Make sure you record that because once you go to your next iterative test, all of this data will be gone. So make sure that you record it each time because it's possible that one of your earlier tests was actually a better setup than some of your later ones. So you want to be able to go back to that. You might want to submit an earlier design to Hannah Wong by the end of the day. So this one just says how their analysis was. You're going to use this analysis in order to make your goal for the next one. So you use this and you go back to your plan and you could try a different plan for version 4. Once you have all of your different tests, or you have a few of them, start asking these questions and things like, how did each sensor perform? What were the warning times for each ocean-wide tsunami? If it was 0 minutes, how can you improve that? And were there any false alarms, and what can you change to prevent them? The next thing that you're going to do is complete all of your designs and then submit one to Hannah Wong. So here's 2 examples. This is test version 3, which we just looked at, and also test version 6. So you need to have at least 6 before you can select one. And if we look at these 2 ones, we might decide which one of these is better to submit as our final design to Hannah for her to give us some feedback. The average warning time for this one was 30 minutes, and it was 56 over here, and that's significant, so that's a better choice. They had the same number of false alarms, but this one was a lot cheaper. 91 million versus 136 million, so that's a pretty big deal. So you might think about which one of these would be best to submit. When you're ready to submit, what you do is come back to your Futura Workspace, and instead of opening here for Tsunami Alert, you're going to come over here and you're going to have a page that looks slightly different from this, but I have given you a tsunami warning system. And oops, no, it's not. It's this one called Tsunami Alert Design. So you're going to find where you have this in your inbox, and you can see here that you're going to choose which version, and you're going to fill that in, how many earthquake sensors you had, what were the coordinates, how many of them were shallow, what were the coordinates of that, how many deep sensors, what were the coordinates, and then at the very end, tell me about the costs and the false alarms. And when you're totally finished with that, you'll go ahead and submit that, and it goes right to Hannah Wong. When you start class tomorrow, you will have feedback from Hannah that we'll be looking at to give you a chance to come up with a better design. It's important that today you have two goals. One, do at least 6 iterative tests, and then 2, submit your best one to Hannah Wong by the end of class. Thank you. Good luck. Come ask me if you have any questions.